Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a video on how to make super compost and ultra compost in old school RuneScape for Ironman. I guess this could go for everyone, but mostly Ironmen will be the ones that are dealing with this. Hopefully just a nice little short compact guide for you guys that'll give you all the information you need. I would be interested definitely in doing more guides like this, both for regular accounts and for Ironmen. So if you guys have anything that you would want to hear from me, feel free to let me know some of those ideas down below. Anything that I feel I'm pretty knowledgeable on, I'm definitely willing to make a guide on. So that is what has brought me to make this super compost guide. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So as far as the types of compost, there is regular, which no one really cares about. You shouldn't be using that. And then there is super and ultra, which are kind of the improved versions of compost that are moderately easy to obtain. As far as why you would use super and ultra compost compared to the regular compost, these offer a higher minimum herb yield. So for super compost, it is 5, and for ultra compost, it is 6. And also, the upgrade from super compost to ultra compost allows you to get 20% more yield from whatever you're picking from. It varies plant to plant whether or not that is going to be effective, but for most plants, you are going to get a 20% boost in your yield, especially in herbs, which is where most people really care for the ultra compost. In addition to improving your yield, these composts also improve your ability for your herb not to die. So, regular compost gives you a 50% increased chance to not have your herb die every single cycle, and then with super compost, that jumps all the way up to 85, and with ultra compost, it jumps even higher to 90. So, pretty big improvement there in terms of having your plants not die on you, which is also going to increase yield ultimately. And very important on an Ironman because you cannot get all of these seeds as quickly as you could on a regular account, just buying them from the GE for cheap. So that is it for the types of compost. As far as how you can obtain them, we will go through that now. The regular compost, which again I wouldn't really recommend you use, can be found up here at Vanessa. You can just actually go in here and just buy compost packs. They're fairly cheap for 100 of them. I mean, it's 20 GP a pop, so it's not really a big deal. And yeah, you can stock up on those if you want. Maybe you're an early game Ironman, you just want something nice and quick. That will work as well. So now that you know how to get regular compost, we'll go into super compost and ultra compost. So there's a couple different ways about it in terms of how you can get super compost. Essentially, the way that I don't prefer, but you can do, is make compost potions. This can be made by using a Harlander and a vial of water along with some volcanic ash together, and that will give you a 3-dose compost potion, as you can see there. Now, volcanic ash is something that you can unlock after the Bon Voyage quest. All you need to do is head on over to Fossil Island, and all along this volcano area, there will be little deposits. A lot of people like to hang out right in here, but they're basically everywhere. They're just little deposits that you can mine volcanic ash from, and it's honestly pretty AFK. You just got to run between them, and they aren't too far apart. So that is how you get the volcanic ash. If you're going to stay there for a while, you can bring a gem bag, but I mean, honestly, I don't have a gem bag yet, so I mean, I don't personally do that, but that is how you're going to get the volcanic ash, and you will need a lot of this if you plan on doing ultra compost or using these compost potions. So all you have to do is use your regular compost on these potions, and that will make super compost. I'd recommend you just have one in the bottom of your inventory and just click back and forth like this, and that will actually work out better than just clicking on all the different ones that you can. But as you can see now, I have 12 super compost, and that is kind of a quick way about it, I guess. If you already have a bunch of volcanic ash and you already just paid money to stock up on compost and you don't mind doing a bunch of clicking. So personally, not the most enjoyable way to get super compost for me. In terms of the alternative, you can go to either Brimhaven or Port Khazard. That is where most people would go early on. Located down here, I'll show you the benefit of that in a second, but higher levels tend to use the Brimhaven spot because it's just less populated here. So all you're going to do is just trade the charter people and just buy all their pineapples, hop worlds, and continue to do that. Now there's no longer a login limit, so it's a lot easier to do this for an extended period of time. And yeah, I mean, this is essentially all you do. Just hop world to world. And as far as how you're going to bank these, there's no bank around, so you're just going to use your pineapples on the tool leprechaun, and he will note them for you since they are a fruit that you could just be farming. But, you know, we're kind of bypassing that here. And yeah, you just run back and forth noting these, and as long as you wish. This is the faster method if you have staminas. However, if you're just a regular Ironman that's a little early on in the game, like I said, Pork Hazard is the alternative. Now, this isn't the best of alternatives because a lot of low and mid-level Ironmen know about this, so it's just going to be a lot more bought out. So, I mean, maybe even if you feel like it might not be worth it there, you could stay here and just, go back to Catherby every now and then, grab some energy potions and come back if you'd like. It's kind of a way around it, but here's the bank. There's also a bank deposit box there. You can choose which one you want to use. I would use the bank whenever you need energy potions and the deposit box when you don't. But there we go, full world right there, so that actually works out, and you just hop around here doing the same exact thing. Again, not too far from a bank, but essentially it's just the same thing. And yeah, I mean, that's how you go ahead and get the mass amount of pineapples that you're going to need for your super compost. And now I'll get to showing you how to get the super compost and the ultra compost. So I'm ready for a trip of herb runs. What you're going to want to do, just grab your regular setup, whatever it may be, and then also add 15 pineapples to the mix. There are other fruits you can use, like watermelon, to get super compost. And that's really useful because, well, some are dead here, but if you are planting watermelon, then you can just kind of throw them in there whenever you're done with it, save yourself a little bit of time there and be a little bit more self-sufficient. But essentially all you have to do is just use all these pineapples on the compost bin and close it. And then next time you come on your herb run, they will all be ready and you can open it. I'll show an example of that at a different herb location. But yeah, I mean, you just throw them all in, close the bin, and basically just wait. And you get a little bit of XP for it as well, so that is nice. One thing you're going to want to know is from the tool leprechaun, there are ways to store tools and buckets and whatnot, so I would recommend just storing an absolute ton of empty buckets, and then you can just pull them out whenever you need them and don't have to really worry too much about dropping them and feeling bad. And to get those, again, you can just trade Vanessa, and she has empty bucket packs that you can buy for 5 GP a pop. So really good stuff there. And now we have to head out to a patch that actually has some compost done so that I can show you how that is done. It's as simple as just taking the compost out of it. If it's just pineapples, shit. So at a patch where the compost is completed, I'm going to go on over to the tool leprechaun and just pull out some empty buckets from him. And basically, as soon as you open it, as long as you put pineapples or watermelon, there's actually like a lot more you can put in there, but none of it's really as efficient as pineapples or watermelon, so it won't really matter too much. But basically, as soon as you start taking from it, if it is just regular super compost, it will come out as such. And then from there, you can decide if you want to throw in some volcanic ash. As far as when I would use ultra compost, essentially on anything that it's going to increase the yield on, that is a great way to go. So herbs and a lot of your allotments that give good XP, by all means, you want to go there. And then also on things that are going to have a lot less chance to die that you need to not have die, such as like trees for the most part, fruit trees and regular trees and hardwood trees, like all that type of stuff. You want to use ultra on if you're not paying for them to be watched over. You can't pay to have your herbs watched over, so everyone is going to be using ultra compost for that. In terms of how much volcanic ash you need to get that ultra compost, if you use volcanic ash on a bucket of super compost, it's 2 per bucket. If you use volcanic ash on the compost bin, it is 25 per bin. So if you already pulled out a bunch, don't worry about it. But if you still have a bunch in there, like I have 14 right now, it makes sense for me to throw it in there, and then you can start collecting it as ultra compost. And that is just going to be the way you want to go with most things in this game. The only times you should really go super compost is if it's not going to really affect your yield, or if you don't really care if you get more of what you're farming. Say for instance, limpworts are kind of debated. Some people use ultra, some people use super. It's really something that's almost up to you, because at the end of the day, if you do a lot of limpwort seeds in your runs, then you really don't need them all. So, you know, it's a very personal basis, and that's why farming's a little weird. So that is how you can obtain all of these composts, and then, I mean, from there, it's as simple as just picking out whatever you have planted, throwing some ultra compost in before or after you plant your seed, and then just letting it sit and letting the compost do its work. So that's it as far as the basics of obtaining the compost and how to go about doing it. As far as a couple little add-ons, one thing is that there is a fertile soil spell in the Lunar Spellbook that you can use. This is the equivalent of super compost whenever you use it on a patch or wherever you're at, and you can actually upgrade this to ultra compost if you do some volcanic mine. Eventually you can buy yourself an ash covered tome, which will allow you to do the spell in the form of ultra compost. And one thing I forgot to mention that I like to do personally is I will do one herb trip where basically I do compost at every single spot. I use a ring of dueling to teleport back to my bank to get more pineapples, and I fill up all of the compost bins. And then my next herb trip, I will basically just take all that compost out and then just repeat that cycle so I don't have to drop my pineapples whenever I get to my farming spot. It's a little bit annoying to drop the pineapples, kind of juggle them, pick all your buckets out. I mean, it's a little bit of a hassle, so I do that to try to ease the burden for the runs themselves. And really, that's about it. It's pretty simple stuff, and it's definitely going to help out your account in the long run. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to tell me or anything you want to add on to the guide, feel free to let me know down below. And if I see some very useful stuff that maybe I have missed, I will definitely make sure to thumbs it up and maybe even pin it. In addition to that, if you guys have anything else you want to see from me, let me know in a comment down below. With that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and see you.